The world is changing and people are becoming more acceptable and more understanding. And who knows, ladies, maybe this movement has opened more doors for us in the sporting world. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Danielle Bielawski. There are only 2 cupcake ATM machines in the entire world, and we have one right here in Chicago. The Flames just dropped to the Bulldogs with a devastating loss. Hayden Hughes missed a buzzer-beater layup, leaving the score 61-59. Meanwhile, better news for Brandon Young. He did start against Seton Hall, but some of his other teammates did not.
You guys think you're going to be able to seed up against the rest of everybody?
I feel like we can play against anybody, anywhere, anytime, because we having good chemistry right now. We playing good basketball. We just got to keep fighting.
And was there anything special being said during the halftime that made you guys come out on such a huge spark for the third quarter?
We just tell them that you got to keep it up. Don't give them no confidence because they really good transition team and they can really score the ball. So we just try to keep their confidence down.
Despite the cold weather, the Blue Demons look to stay hot and stay undefeated in conference as they get ready to take on the Creighton Blue Jays both Saturday and Sunday. The first pitch is at noon. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Danielle Bielawski. Meanwhile, 2 pieces of good news for men's basketball. First, they broke their 10-game losing streak with a 65-60 victory over Seton Hall at Allstate Arena. For some, the month of May means spring and flowers. But for some athletes, this month can possibly change their life. Former college football players will watch the NFL draft in suspense on May 8th. And how about that Billy Garrett Jr.? After missing a couple of games due to sickness, Billy wasted no time getting noticed again. And finally, a stunning announcement from one of DePaul's neighboring colleges in the Chicago area. Meanwhile, for the Lady Blue Demons, the news is much better. They continued their Big East win streak, something you don't want to miss. That's right, Cassandra. They're off to an amazing start, recently defeating Navy 7-0. See how this pans out considering college players are voluntarily trying to play, so we'll see how this goes.
Well, they're definitely making history. Thank you, Danielle.
Even though the Bulls are out of the playoffs, they still remain in the hot seat. With talks of Coach Thibodeau leaving, Carmelo Anthony coming, and MVP Derrick Rose returning to the lineup, the Bulls remain in the spotlight. At the United Center for Good Day DePaul, I'm Danielle Bielawski. Many of us are enjoying this beautiful weather outside, but unfortunately for the Chicago Blackhawks, they aren't. Many players right now are in the locker room at the United Center cleaning out their lockers after a devastating loss on Sunday against the LA Kings. At the United Center for Good Day DePaul, I'm Danielle Bielawski. That's right, Kip. The DePaul women's basketball team was on fire as they blew past Villanova. 3 Blue Demons scored in double figures. Check it out. The Bulls look to bounce back from a devastating loss last game against the San Antonio Spurs. Tonight's game is against the Houston Rockets at 6 p.m. at the United Center. I got to sit down with Dwight Howard as he gets ready for the game.
Well, I would say our defense, has to be a lot stronger.
Does an athlete's sexuality really affect the way he or she plays? Top athletes like Jason Collins, Wade Davis, and now Michael Sam prove that even though they might not fit in with their sexuality, they definitely fit in with their skills. I met up with some gay and straight athletes to get their thoughts on the movement of openly gay players. Have you ever played with gay athletes before?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, for 3 years I had a lesbian on the team.
Yes. Yes, I have.
Do you think that it was any different than from playing with a non-gay athlete?
No difference whatsoever.
Off the court, we didn't really care what they did as long as they had the team in mind.
I'm not against it. I feel if an athlete's an athlete, no matter what they like off the field, they should be able to play the game.
No, I think that playing with gay athletes they're just the same.
Yet these athletes say being gay doesn't affect their play. Gay athletes still deal with the struggle of when and how to come out to their teammates. Senior track and field runner at DePaul University, Harold Alvarez, says he was torn and didn't know what to do.
Coming out was a little bit difficult for me just because I was really unsure of how I wanted to come out. Being an athlete, I was really nervous to see if I'm going to be treated differently by my teammates. My father was a little bit surprised. He asked me how is that possible with me being an athlete.
Other athletes like former college football player Scott Parachek hide behind who they are because they don't feel safe.
Basically, I thought it was a bit dangerous, especially with the kind of language that people used in the locker room. I didn't think it was something that would be accepted, so it was something that I didn't even think about until after college.
Michael Sam is the first openly gay football player to be drafted by the NFL. His kiss was talked about for weeks after the draft. Was this too much, or was this something the society needed to see?
I think it was a big thing because when you think of a football player, you always think of that strong, muscular man, and you see most football players with that like beautiful like model or singer, whereas it was different that he wasn't like that. And I think that's what they were trying to portray, that he was so different compared to other football players.
I think that he was just being genuine. I think that if any straight athlete were in the room with his girlfriend, you can look at A.J. McCarron from Alabama. He, after every game, goes and kisses his girlfriend, and no one has a problem with it.
More and more gay athletes are taking a stand and coming out because they are feeling more comfortable with who they are as a person and as an athlete. Advice to gay athletes who are struggling with whether or not to come out.
I just want to be happy because once you're on that field, you're a brother. It's not about what's going on outside your life.
Kind of like, do it.
The world is changing and people are becoming more understanding and more accepting. And who knows, ladies, maybe this movement has opened more doors for us in the sporting world. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Danielle Bielawski. For some, the month of May means spring and flowers. But for some athletes, this month can possibly change their life. Former college football players will watch the NFL draft in suspense on May 8th. Prospect athletes like Johnny Manziel, Jadeveon Clowney, and Khalil Mack showed off their skills in the 40-yard dash, the broad jump, and shuttle drills. Lawrence Holmes from 670 The Score has high hopes for some special talent this year.
Jadeveon Clowney. So I'm really looking forward to him. I hope that the Bears draft Calvin Pryor, the safety out of Louisville. But those two guys are kind of top on my list.
Current arena football player Anthony Hughes has been dreaming for the day he hears the NFL commissioner say his name over the PA system. Unlike Manziel and Clowney, Anthony didn't have a perfect college career to get him noticed. He has had some setbacks throughout his career, but he refuses to give up.
My biggest obstacle was coming out of high school, not being able to go to Michigan State. They wiped their whole program clean, and then they pretty much started off with new coaches, so I was pretty much left them behind.
According to Bleacher Report, in 2012, majority of the NFL players did come from a D1 school. Yet there were 74 players from a D2 school, like offensive guard Amini Silatolu, and 9 from a D3 school like wide receiver Pierre Garçon back in 2008. Many people believe the draft has become into a media frenzy. Holmes hopes it doesn't get any worse.
I wish that they would stop. Like, we're good right now, like kind of where we're at right now.
The athletes still look at it the same. Their time to shine and hopefully have their dreams come true. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Danielle Bielawski. DePaul's freshman guard, Billy Garrett Jr., also known as Billy the Kid, is a Chicago native who played for Morgan Park High School. There, he led his team to a 33-3 record and the 3A Class State Championship last year. Garrett now is looking to make a name for himself at the collegiate level. In just 2 months this season, Garrett leads all Big East freshmen with 4 Rookie of the Week honors. He is also the league's freshman leader in scoring, assists, and free throw percentage.
It feels good. It shows, hard work pays off.
Garrett says he patterns his game after 2 big-time NBA guards.
My favorite players are Stephen Curry and Darren Williams, so I watch those guys a lot.
Garrett has teamed up this year with DePaul's senior leaders, Cleveland Melvin and Brandon Young.
Those are all great players, and they've done a lot for this program.
As if Garrett's achievements aren't enough, what about the fact that his dad is his assistant coach?
It's not what I thought it would be like. It's kind of like if you didn't know he was my dad, you wouldn't really be able to tell.
The rookie is a true believer in playing hard. He continues to have breakthrough games and believes the most important thing he has to bring to every game is
consistency, playing hard, playing together.
DePaul fans are looking forward to see what more Billy Garrett Jr. has to offer as a Blue Demon. For Good Day DePaul, I'm Danielle Bielawski.